What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the first round of the NHL playoffs. Now, I know this has probably been the craziest first round in NHL history, and personally, I'm okay with that. I think it was a lot of excitement. The most parity in any sports league. Like I said, going into the playoffs, I said most of these series could have been anybody's game, and really they were. Obviously, my predictions, like most people's predictions, did not go so well. But honestly, I'm more excited about these second round matchups than I was about the ones I had predicted, because these are going to make some pretty interesting conference finals. I hope you guys are excited for the upcoming playoffs and for the 2019 Stanley Cup champion. Only one of these teams has won a cup in the last 10 years. That's the Boston Bruins. So we're going to get a brand new Stanley Cup champion this year, which makes me really excited. Even if it's Boston, they won in 2011, so it was still a very long time ago. Obviously, I was pretty excited about that Maple Leaf series, but we will talk about that once we get to that series. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to go hit the like button down below and make sure to subscribe as well. Tell your friends about the channel. We have a whole bunch more videos coming for you guys. Sorry I wasn't able to make a first round kind of review, a playoff review. Been super busy, and I've got a really busy weekend coming up. So sorry I didn't really have time for that, but hopefully this will be good enough. The second round starts tonight, so I'm super excited with that. Boston, Columbus, and St. Louis, Dallas both start tonight, so it's going to be a great second round story. And without further ado, let's get into the episode. Let's start with Boston and Columbus. Now, the Bruins pulled off a massive victory against the Toronto Maple Leafs again in Game 7. I had a lot of bets going on with some friends at school, and the Bruins were able to pull it off. That was a massive win. Obviously, for Maple Leafs fans, I don't really know what to say for you, because I can't really provide much sympathy as I am a Bruins fan. But I'm going to stay away from being biased here. Overall, I think the Leafs outplayed the Bruins in the series, which would be disappointing if you are a Leafs fan. But the Bruins were able to pull out the victory. Obviously, I had Nazem Kadri as the key player for the Maple Leafs going in to round number 1, and I think he really was the difference maker in this series. If Kadri doesn't get suspended, I mean, look how close it really was. Game 7, a 1-goal game going into the third period. I think if Kadri was there, he would have been able to bring something. Maybe you get a couple goals on the board, and that would change the whole series. So I think it was there for the Leafs. It was there for them to take the series, and they couldn't capitalize on it, unfortunately for them. On to the Columbus Blue Jackets, pulling off the sweep against the best team in the NHL, 62 wins, having one of the best regular seasons in NHL history, and they don't even get one win in the postseason. Unbelievable. Congratulations to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and their fan base must be absolutely pumped for this second round matchup. I think this is going to be a very even round series. Personally, I think Columbus did have a lot of time off, which could work out in their favor, or it could go against them. They might be rusty. For Boston, they're coming off a very hard, difficult series against the Maple Leafs here, and they don't really have much time to kind of regroup and rest, but they won't be rusty like the Blue Jackets. They might be rusty. So this series could really go either way. I'm not going to do predictions for this series, as I totally butchered the first round playoff series, but this one should be a fantastic series. I will obviously be watching all of these games. The game starts tonight. I'm pumped for it. The Bruins top line is definitely going to have to perform better than they did in the first round, and the Blue Jackets really don't have any weak forward line, so I think the Bruins will have to step up their game, get the production from Nordstrom, Corrali, like they did in that final game. The Blue Jackets are really going to have to, shut down that Bruins top line again, and they have one of the best defense corps in the league, in my opinion. So as long as that defense corps locks it down, I think the Blue Jackets have a very good chance of taking the series and moving on to the conference finals. On to the Metropolitan final between the New York Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes. Last night, the Hurricanes pulled off a massive Game 7 victory over the Capitals. In my opinion, this has probably been one of the most exciting first rounds in NHL history. So many, there was 3 Game 7s, a lot of overtimes. I think there's been 10 overtimes this playoff series, which has been unbelievable. Islanders and Hurricanes. The Islanders swept the Pittsburgh Penguins. So very much like this Boston Columbus series, one team will go in with lots of rest, could be rusty, and one team will be coming off a very heavy Game 7 series against the Capitals, and should be firing on all cylinders as they won't have much of a break. So This series is going to be massive. I actually just got a notification. Pavelski's playing game one. Let's get back to that one in the Western Conference. The Islanders looked fantastic. They were playing at the Coliseum. They'll no longer be playing at the Coliseum, which, in my opinion, is a big negative for the Islanders going forward. I think that brought a lot of energy. That was the loudest building I heard in the first round. So that's going to be difficult for the Islanders. But as a team, they played with so much pace that the Penguins just couldn't keep up with them. As for the Hurricanes, they also played with a lot of speed. I think this is a team coming in with the wild card spots, coming in against the Capitals' first seed. This was a team with a lot of young players coming in, grinding it out. I think they wanted it more, and I think that's what could get the Hurricanes moving forward if they do want to beat the Islanders. I think the Hurricanes are going to want it more than the Islanders, like they did against the Capitals, and I think that could very much happen. So this is another series, two new teams, both teams I don't think anybody picked to even be in the playoffs. They're here, and I'm super excited for the second round series. On to the Western Conference, the San Jose Sharks versus the Colorado Avalanche. The Sharks are only the one of two second seed teams coming into the second round, them and the Boston Bruins. No first seed teams, and then, like I said, only two second seed teams advancing to the second round. The Sharks were able to pull up a massive upset over the Vegas Golden Knights. Not much in standing-wise, the Sharks finished ahead of the Golden Knights, but being down 3-1 and then being down 3-0 going into the third period. Personally, my thoughts on that cross-check, that 5-minute penalty. Personally, I do not think that was a 5-minute. I don't even think that was a 2-minute penalty. Forget about 5 minutes. I think the refs made the wrong call. I think they were looking more at the Sharks' reaction and the fans' reaction. They were going absolutely nuts, and I think that's kind of how they called that 5-minute penalty. I do not think at all it was a 5-minute penalty, though it's unfortunate what happened to Pavelski. He is playing game one, like I said, which is big news for the San Jose Sharks. The injury looked bad. He didn't play the rest of the game. And so I hope for a speedy recovery. Obviously, he got that, but I don't think that was a 5-minute penalty. And I do agree with Jonathan Marchessault. I can get why he was upset. The Colorado Avalanche pulled off even bigger upset, I think, against the Calgary Flames. They took them out in 5 games. So there goes the team first in the NHL and second in the NHL, which is just crazy. So Colorado, I think, looked fantastic. Nathan MacKinnon, in my opinion, top 3 player in the National Hockey League. I think he's the most explosive skater in the league, and he can easily go toe-to-toe with McDavid speed-wise. So I think MacKinnon definitely a top 3 player in the league, and he carried the Avalanche past the Calgary Flames. That top line is going to come with so much speed for the Avalanche. I think the Sharks are going to actually have a very hard time stopping them. And personally, in my second chance bracket, I took the Avalanche over the Sharks. Either way, this is going to be a fantastic series. Colorado Avalanche got great goaltending. Sharks got better goaltending in Game 6 and Game 7. See if Martin Jones can hold the fort. This is going to be another fantastic series. Like I said, I've got the Avalanche. And the last series in the second round is the St. Louis Blues versus the Dallas Stars. Now, the Blues came in taking out the Jets in 6 games. Same with the Stars. They took out the Nashville Predators in 6 games. Personally, I expected a lot more from the Predators in the playoffs here. Obviously, they weren't able to get it done. The Stars shut them down. Miro Heiskanen is looking like an absolute beast. This guy is going to be a top 3 defenseman in the future, and he's already leading that Dallas Stars defense. So, this guy's going to be unbelievable. The Blues, they came out last in the NHL in January, like I said in the last episode, came in and now are on to the second round. No matter what happens in the second round, this has been a fantastic accomplishment for the St. Louis Blues. Despite that, I do have the St. Louis Blues advancing to the second round. Even though the Stars' Ben Bishop has looked like a tank, he was nominated for the Vezina Trophy this season. Jordan Binnington, I think, has been as good, especially in the playoffs. He's been unbelievable. What a surprise and what a Cinderella story for him. And I think Binnington, my opinion, I'm going to agree with Don Cherry here. I think Binnington deserves the Calder Trophy. But let's forget about those regular season awards. It's playoff time now. And I still do think the Blues have more offensive depth, and I think they can easily go toe-to-toe with the Stars' defense. It's going to be a very fast and close series. I've got the Blues in 7 games, but I think the Blues will be on an emotional high after coming out and beating the Jets, even just making it to the playoffs. Fantastic accomplishments. There's the second round. It's going to be an unbelievable second round no matter what happens. I've kind of tried to give up for the playoffs anyway, predicting for the 2019 playoffs. It's just been anything can happen at this point. All the underdogs pretty much won in round 1. Why can't that happen again in round 2? So I don't like to make too many predictions for round 2, but make sure to let me know your predictions down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys put for your second chance bracket. This is going to be an unbelievable second round. It all starts tonight. Like I said, Boston, Columbus, St. Louis, Dallas. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Bruins here to go all the way. I think this year is their year, just like Boston and San Jose. I don't think those two teams will have a better shot at winning a Stanley Cup for at least the next 10 years. So this is their year. We'll see if they capitalize on it. That's going to be it for the episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button if you did, and make sure to hit the subscribe button if you really enjoyed the episode. This is going to be a fantastic second round. I can't wait. See you guys in the next episode.